Star of the Week by Barney Saltzberg. When Stanley Birdbum heard the news, he practically flew home from school. "I'm Star of the Week," he shouted. "It's my turn to share my favorite things." That night, Stanley and his mom prepared snacks. "They're going to love this," he said. "You're my star every day," said Stanley's mom as he left for school the next morning. In class, Mr. Winger pinned a star to Stanley's shirt. "I'm sure everyone would like a little snack," he said. "Did you bring your favorite food?" Stanley passed around sandwiches. "They're tofu, bologna, cream cheese, and jelly with pickles," he told them, "on pumpernickel." Stanley was happily nibbling his sandwich when he noticed that no one else was eating. "They're good," he assured everyone. "Really?" Mr. Winger took a bite. "I've never had tofu bologna, cream cheese, and jelly with pickles before," he said. "Pickles do add a nice texture." "I'm not eating this," said Polly Seed Eater. "It's disgusting." "I thought this was going to be fun," Stanley said to himself. "I think I was wrong." As Star of the Week, Stanley also got to share his favorite toy. At home, he tried to pick one. It took a while. "I know today will be better," said Stanley's mom as he left for school the next morning. When it was time for Stanley to share his favorite toy, he pulled a plastic robot out of his bag. "Is that a doll?" Polly Seed Eater asked. Everybody laughed. "This is Mr. Bizzo," said Stanley. "He's a walking, talking robot." Stanley wound Mr. Bizzo up. "Hello, hello, hello," the robot repeated as it rolled across the floor. Then, boing, an arm came loose. Crack! A leg popped off. "Goodbye," groaned Mr. Bizzo. "I thought this was going to be fun," Stanley said to himself. "I think I was wrong." Finally, Stanley went to talk to Mr. Winger. "Being Star of the Week has been awful," said Stanley. "Nobody liked my favorite food. They laughed at my favorite toy. I don't think I want to share anymore." "I know it has been challenging," said Mr. Winger, "but I think it's really important that you finish what you start. I can't wait to see what you share next." When it was time for Stanley to share what he liked to do best, everyone sat quietly on the rug. "I love to draw," Stanley whispered. "This is going to be as good as that silly robot," said Polly Seed Eater. There was giggling. Mr. Winger suggested that Stanley draw something. Stanley froze. His arms felt stiff like tree branches. He wished he could disappear. All Stanley Birdbum could draw was a little curvy line. "That's not what I meant to do," he said. "Stanley Birdbum loves to draw noodles," sang Polly. There was laughing. "Well, it could be a worm," said Larry Finchfeather. Stanley smiled at Larry and began to draw. "Ta-da!" he announced. "Now it is a worm." "It's a squiggle drawing," someone shouted. "And it's great." "Do another one," said Larry Finchfeather. Before Stanley could begin, Polly marched right up to the front of the room. "Here's a squiggle," she said. "I bet you can't make anything out of this." Everyone was quiet. Stanley stared at the squiggle. After a few moments, he began to draw. "How about a bird looking for lunch?" Stanley said when he finished drawing. Everyone clapped. Polly Seed Eater had nothing to say.
Thanks for joining us, guys. And remember that AM and PM Storytime is for any time of the day, whether you're just waking up, noontime snacking, or bedtime is happening. Stop by and enjoy a book with us.